Welcome, judges, to puzzle number 48. And, well, this is the one in which there is recoil written upwards, and all of those are just clearly recoil moves from above. So they are moves that go down. Now, there is already a point in this puzzle that is all about all about this lowest part of the puzzle. If this stripe of 4 axes is made by those moves 1, 2, 3, and 4, the puzzle is just broken. Why? Because at a certain point you can't end here because you have something to recoil down here. But if you try to go to the right or to the left, I mean, yeah, you can go 1, but you can't go up, and you can go 1, but you can't go up. And so now we have problems with all of those cells, because those cells must be recoiled before you recoil the end, because the end now is like here or here, but you can't recoil there, because if you try to recoil those things before, like, I don't know, imagine that you're doing that, for example, to recoil stuff. At that point, you can't recoil into the line. So in other words, it's a time situation in which to recoil those things, those 4 things, if you try to go all the way down here, no, there is no way to recoil anything that is here. It's always the same problem. Something that, like, I think we already know pretty well, honestly. But this means that you have not all those things done, so this one must be one of the recoils, since it's the first one, of course. Because if it was not the first one, those would recoil here, and you can't. But at this point, this one is the first one, so you must continue here, so you must go out from here. This means that you must make all of those moves, and because you make all of those moves, this one goes down, and you recoil here. So all this is pretty much forced, and now here you must continue this way, you recoil this, you can't continue, you recoil down, like this way, and now this one clearly recoils the first one here, because it's the highest, okay? So, like, this is just forced this way. I don't think there is much to say about. But now we have a problem, and the problem is, where are the other 3 recoils from this long column? Because the question is, can it ever be like the last 3 or something in between, like, I don't know, these and then 2, for example? The point is this, that you can't ever reach the bottom, because every time you reach the bottom, you still have the same problem with this cell. Because it doesn't matter if you somehow want to, I don't know, to do that. Imagine you try to do this. Now the question is, how do you even recoil this cell? Do you ever recoil this cell? You just can't recoil this one. But the fact that you can't recoil this one at this point means that you can't just end here. So this is the whole problem of this. And it's a big problem, because now this cell is not allowed, and now you have 3 recoils that must be done, and you have exactly 3 moves going down. So that's 1, 2, and 3. At this point, though, those things must be recoiled after. All of those must be recoiled after these moves. So you make this move, and that's fine. And now you can't go to the right, and you can't go down, we already said that. So you must go to the left and recoil this cell. But now, because you must recoil the others after you do that moves, like, you must go up, recoil here, you must go here, recoil, I don't know, this one, yeah, sorry. And now you must go up again, recoiling down. And all of this is forced, and so now you must continue this way. And now, this cell, sadly, recoils here. It doesn't recoil outside. It recoils here, though. So all of this is just forced, okay? Now, there is a problem. The problem is that now I can't go down, or down again, because I have nothing to recoil, so I must go up. When I know that I must go up, and so I'm recoiling this cell, there is a point here that is relevant, and that is about this move. Like, now clearly I can't just connect, so I must go through this. But when I go through these, I must recoil 1 and 2, so those just go out this way. And all of these, I think it's not only forced, but very, very easy to see, okay? So if you have problems with something that I said, please just tell, but should be fairly easy to see. Now, next step. Now I have something to tell, and the point that I have to make is peculiar. Like, please remember now that I have those two things down to the right that must be recoiled. Now, though, it's not that easy to recoil those two cells. Why I'm saying that? Because those two cells must be recoils made horizontally. And now, where I'm recoiling those two cells, like those two cells must be recoiled by something, but at that point, I still have other stuff in the last row, okay? So if I recoil those two before I reach the end, the stuff that, like, I mean, imagine that I recoil those two this way. Now this means that I must recoil those two via vertical moves at this point, because they can't be recoiled horizontally at this point, because those are just recoiling those two cells at the right, and they are at the bottom right, so I have nothing between to recoil. This means that if I want to do that in some ways, this move must be a vertical recoil. But this move, to be a vertical recoil, must be a recoil going here or here, and both doesn't work. Both don't work, because I can't continue. Why I'm saying I can't continue? Because clearly, once I reach these and I recoil like the last cell, that is this one, I just end the puzzle because I can't go up. So this thing is just the end. And because I know that this thing is just the end of the puzzle, I can't recoil this cell if I do it in any one of the other cells. And so this move must be like the last move of the puzzle, and it's recoiling this cell. Now at this point, though, when I reach the end, I can't exit the end. So this one must be recoiled as well, and so I need this move. This is just forced, and I can't go up. So this one now is a recoil. I think this is very simple, but let me know anyway. So those two moves exist, and they recoil those two things. That's just it. Now, let's continue with other stuff. At this point, from the right, I can't go up, because if I go up, I recoil here, but then I can't continue to the left because I have nothing to recoil. So I just have to go this way and recoil something. And of course, the point is this cell must be free to recoil this move at this point, and so this move is recoiling this. So I can't continue this way, and I must go up. When I go up this way, I recoil down here, of course. And because this is true, that I must recoil up here now, I can't go to the left because I have the same problems. Can't go twice up. So I must go to the left here, recoiling this cell. Now from here, I want to just stop to notice that we have in this column two things to recoil. Two more, I mean. And I have exactly two moves going downwards. So it's this one and this one. At the same time, though, I have those two that must be vertical recoils going down. And I don't have many moves to do that, because I can do that here, or, well, I can't do in any other place. So I must make those two moves going down. When I make those two moves going down, clearly this one connects this way, and this one connects this way again. And now from this point, I clearly don't go here, because this one would be trapped, so I must connect this way now. And now this one connects this way. So all of this is, I mean, it's just forced to work this way, okay? At this point, there is a problem. Like, let me state that those two things are just recoiling this one and this one, because oh yeah, I can't do that yet. Sorry, I can't make this deduction now. Sorry. Yeah, but what I can do is starting thinking about those 3 recoils. Why I'm talking about those 3 recoils? Because I need 3 vertical moves, and I have exactly 1, 2, and 3 vertical moves. So all of those are forced. So this one now just goes this way, can't continue this way now. And so if I go up, I recoil here and I can't, so I must connect. And so I have the end of the puzzle somehow. And also this one connects this way now, and here I must go this way now. And all of this is just forced. Now I can't go this way, so I must go the other way around. So this one recoils here, this one clearly recoils here, up. So those moves are all forced. This one stops, so I must recoil to the right, recoiling this cell. And now I must continue down, recoiling this cell as well. So all of those are just recoils for the R. And at this point of the puzzle, I can tell something more about this, because if I try to go to the left or to the left again or to the left again, I just can't do this because I can't go down. So I must go to the right and recoil this cell, of course. And now at this point, my question is, can I go down? I can't go down, because if I try to go down, then I go to the right and recoil here, and now what happens? I'll explain. I'll show that in a second. I'll show that a little bit better in a second. But the whole point is that I'm making a lot of moves somehow, and those moves are just very forced. So I have those 1, 2, 3, and 4 parts of the puzzle that must connect somehow, and all of those connections are very, very forcing. Okay. Oh, sorry. Those 2 things are done. They are those 2. Yeah. Okay. I will show you that I must go to the left, to the right. Oh, you're right. You're perfectly right. Thank you. I don't know why this does this, but yeah, let's go with this. Thank you, Timotab, for that. Thank you a lot. I hope you're enjoying this puzzle, or this solve, I mean, and let's just continue. And thank you very much. Okay, now, okay, to state what I tried to state, I must make some more deductions. The first one is about this cell. Now the question is, can I do that? Can I continue to from the left? Now think about row 1. I mean, this row. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 moves to the right, and 1, 2, and 3 moves to the left. So you need a total of 9 recoils, and I don't have 9 recoils here. I just have 5. So I can't do this. The fact that I can't do this means that I must do this, and so I must do that. Now, if you think about the time, or count again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and they have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 cells. So this is just done, and I can't continue. I can't do better than that. That's pretty much the point, okay? At this point, though, I have a problem. The problem is that clearly I can't go this way because I would recoil this cell, because this cell is empty when I make those moves, okay? So I must continue this way at this point. So this one is just forced this way. And now I'm gonna ask, in which direction I'm going, okay? Because if you think about that, those 1, 2, 3, 4 cells recoiled to the right, they are clearly recoiling the first ones in the column near to them. I can't make the others, okay? So those 3 moves are clearly those 3, because I can't recoil from here stuff that is to the right, or from here stuff that is to the left. They're just connected this way, okay? And that's, I mean, should be pretty clear, okay? that I must do that. And this means now that from this side I can't just go down, because if I try to go this way, like up, I mean, this one would recoil something that is here probably, that is empty for like for this to continue. And so my question is, if I this move recoils here probably, and so this one must do that, and I can't go up now, so I must continue this way, and I can't because I don't have enough recoils to the left. Okay, so all of this is just broken. So this means that I must continue this way, and so I have 1, 2, and 3 moves, and those 3 moves are exactly 1, 2, and 3 recoils. So this one connects down, and this one connects up. So I'm just like starting to create the solving situation of what I have. That's the most I can tell, at least. Now I have a problem though, because now this move clearly recoils this, and now I can't go down. Because if I go down, I recoil this cell, but this cell must be empty to be recoiled here, because I have nothing to recoil above. But if this one is empty, this one is recoiled by this cell, not by the other one, so this one must continue to the right and recoil here. Now sadly I don't know where I'm going, I just know that I'm not going up at this point. Now, next step, there is a very important step, or at least a very important piece of logic. I said already that those two things recoil what? They recoil those two things here. But this means that because I can't enter the last row with line without exiting it like anymore, this means that all of those cells are recoils, literally all of those, and they must be recoiled somewhere in between here and here, or here and here somehow. Because now I have a problem. There are two options that work. The first option is that somehow I connect here, and then from this point I just go to the, I just go here, and then here I connect down. So this is one of the options in terms of connectivity, okay? Like one of the other options is that here I go here, and then from here I go up, and then from here I just connect down. This is one of the other options, of course. And like I don't have many more options, because I don't have much. No, I don't have any other option. So it's just connecting to the left or to the right, and then the others are connecting. So somehow I must connect the left side with the right side in one direction or in another. It's just one of those. So I'm going to the left, to the top left now, or I'm going to the top left after a bit. But I must do that somehow in a certain moment, at a certain point of the solve. Okay. Why is this important? Well, you will see. Now, what I know for sure at this point is that I had oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I was using those two things. Those two are vertical recoils going down. Now, the question is, can this one be one of those? And the answer is no, it can't. Why it can't? Because if you try this one to be recoiled up here, it means that this one must be recoiled before. But now the question is, can I ever recoil this one before? And the point is that this is very hard, because like to recoil this before, I must recoil it by one of those two moves. Can I really make that deduction now? Wait, I'm not exactly convinced that you can make the deduction now. Maybe I can't. Oh, I can. Okay, sorry, I can. Yeah, I remembered. This move is recoiling something that is down, okay? Now, if this cell is empty, this move is just recoiling here, okay? So this means that I can't ever go through here, and I know that this part of the path must connect. So I must make those two moves. Those two moves are just forced, because I can't go through here. And because I can't go through here, I must go through the other gap. There are just two gaps here, so I take this one or the other one. I don't have many options. Now, though, what I have is... Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything. Of my steps, at least. So yeah, this cell is recoiling here, of course. This, like, clearly forced. Oh yeah, okay. Now from the start, I can't go to the left, because if I go to the left, I must go down, and now this cell must be recoiled a vertical move, but I can't because those are used by horizontal moves. So I must continue down, and this one just clocks like locks here. I can't do better than that, of course. And okay, now here I can't go up because those two things are recoiling down here if those are empty. So I can't go up this way. So I must go down this way. So, like, those two moves are just recoiling cells that are here and here, probably, because then if it's not true, then they would recoil those cells here. But I must recoil those. So I must go down twice, and those two are recoiling up here, 1 and 2. And so from this point, I can't continue down, so I must go to the left, recoiling this cell finally, and now I finally can go down. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's me remembering some stuff. Sorry. Yeah. Next little step. Okay, here I can't continue this way, because now if I continue this way, I would recoil here, and I can't. So I must go this way, and now that I go here, there is no way I go again here, because those would be two moves to the right, to the left, and I don't have enough recoils to the right. So I must go from this way, and this move now just recoils there. But the point is even more complex than that, because the fact is that we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3 things, all of those not recoiled, and I have exactly 1, 2, and 3 moves in the row, so they are exactly recoiling those. So I must continue this way here, and then oh yeah, okay. And then if now I try to go to the right, this means that that I can't continue here, so I must go down. And so this part of the puzzle, so this one would clearly connect here somehow. But the point is that if I try to do that, like this works, I mean, but it doesn't really matter. The fact is that now from the bottom, now I must connect up somehow to this point. And the fact is, the question is, how do I do that? because now this means that I must make those two moves, for example, and now somehow I must go through here, and I must do that because this means that this one goes the other way around. And now that I do that, I mean, I will somehow go to the right here or here, because I don't have enough recoils, so I must go to the right somehow, but this would clash with those two things, that is here or here, and this is just not working, because remember that this part of the puzzle would be made before you make this part of the puzzle, and so the whole thing breaks. And this is just for connectivity, because you can't connect from the bottom right here to the you can't do that or that, because you're just clashing, so that's the problem, because now this one would clash somehow. And all of this means that I can't go to the right, so I must go to the left here, and now I can't just connect, so I must connect again. And now from this from this point, now I know that this cell is not recoiled yet, and now I know that I can't go down because I would recoil this one before I can. Even if I know that must be recoiled by one of those two moves, this one or this one, I mean this one specifically, and so I must continue to the right, and then I must go down, and all of this is just forced. The fact that now I know that this move doesn't apply means that those two recoils from above must be recoils here. So I must make 1 and 2 moves, and now clearly this one goes here and this one goes here. Those two moves now create exactly those two recoils, 1 and 2. Remember that we have one other recoil, and now this recoil going down clearly is not here, because this one will clash with everything, pretty much. So I mean, I can't do that. One of those two would be just broken. And so I can't do this one, so I must make this move going downwards. So it's this one, and now this one continues this way. And I think all of this is just clearly working. I guess that you can easily see all of this. And now this means that at this point, like I can't go to the right, because this would recoil this cell, and I can't. So I must go down. Yes, exactly now. And now I must wiggle, and this wiggling means that now, because I know that this one connects to the wait. Oh yeah, I can't go down, because if I try to go down here, now I must connect somehow to this point, because there is no way I'm doing all of these. So, in other words, I must connect here, and so the right side would be just broken. Completely broken, because you can't connect that. And so this means that somehow I must go to above, and to go above, I mean, how do I do that? Point is very easy. I can't go down this way. Now I have two options, or I go up, or I go to the right. Now, in both cases, this means that I must pass through this cell and this cell. So I must go through here. And now, if I go to the right and then go up, this would close this, and now there is no way that this one passes, so I can't do that. And so I must make this move, and everything works at this point, honestly. So now that we are here, question is, can I go to the right? I can't, because then I can't just go down. Remember that those are just taken, so I must go down now. Now I can't go to the right because I have nothing to recoil, so I must go down again. Now I switch and go to the right. So this move is just forced this way. This one is forced this way now. And oh yeah. And now I have those two things to recoil, and those two things to recoil clearly are never made by a move like this, because how do you do that? And so you need those two moves going downwards. So at this point I reach the end of this, I reach the bottom, so I must make those two moves, go up once, take this one, can't continue. Those two are recoiling something, probably this one and this one. Those two are recoiling those two, so I still need two moves to recoil that are those two. So this one and this one are forced moves, and this one connects, and everything is done this way. Now you have those two moves to recoil, and those two moves to recoil are just vertical moves here and here. So those two just continue at least once and recoil this cell, and so it continue at most once. I recoil here, I must go to the left, and now I must recoil this cell, and to recoil this cell I must make 2 moves upwards, so I must make 1 and 2 moves upwards, so those are just forced this way, and now this move at this point just recoils this, and this means that I can't continue, so I must recoil upwards, this one is done, so I must go to the left, and again, to recoil this one, I must recoil the other one as well, so I need 2 moves upwards, 1 and 2, so I must go to the left, and recoil this cell, of course. This move instead recoils this one, and now this one just connects down, recoiling the last cell remaining, and then this move recoils here, and this move recoils the last one. So we just have to connect, so I must go here, recoil the last cell doing that, and completing the puzzle. And puzzle done. This is, puzzle 48.